Hello and welcome to Module 6, where we're going to be studying the binomial distribution. So let's take a look at some of the key ideas that we need to watch out for here. So the first thing is that you are going to come across a formula to calculate distribution or probabilities for a binomial distribution. But again, the formulas in this class are not as important as understanding what those numbers represent. Second, since we're not going to focus so much on the formulas, pay attention to how your technology will do this, whether you're using StatCrunch, which makes it very easy, or if you're using a calculator such as the TI-84, TI-83, or even just the little handheld one that I recommended for the scientific, which is the TI-36X Pro. All of those have a binomial distribution calculator in there too. However, it does take a little bit of thought sometimes when you're going through it, so make sure you do look at those examples pretty carefully on how to calculate binomial if you're using those calculators. Second, the hardest part about these calculations is not even the calculation itself, since we do have access to technology. The hardest part will be able to recognize when we actually have a binomial distribution in the first place, especially when it does not tell you it's binomial. So make sure you read carefully on the conditions of what makes a binomial distribution and also how we know when to use it. And that's going to be the key to actually then just take out your calculator and do the calculations as required. Lastly, one of those keys that you want to be paying attention to is that when we're talking about binomials, we are looking for counting the number of successes or failures that happen when we have some kind of random event done many times. So that's the first hint that you're going to be looking for. Second is once you think it sounds like it's binomial, it's always good to double check. So you will find that there are some conditions that you should be double checking that will help you determine whether or not you actually have a binomial distribution. So if you pay attention to those things and do most of your work in that sense, and then just using your calculator for the rest of it, you'll do just fine in this module. If you have any questions, post them to the discussion board and we'll be sure to help you out. Good luck.